everybody. It's Suzette Skidmore with Healing Solutions Incorporated, and we're on week 11 on our journaling. Yay! So, this part of the journaling is about what we would do once there's a cure. So, this week's question is, once the cure is active, how long will you wait before you stop social distancing? What new habits are you going to keep from the pandemic, and what does your new normal look like? So, wow, great questions to start thinking about, right? Because we want to put that energy out there for a cure to start to be discovered, so that way we can keep people healthy and we can get rid of this daily number of cases and knowing that we can get rid of the death toll. I think that's really kind of how I feel about when they report all that stuff. So, super excited about that. And I think this week I've learned to do it through the headset, so we won't have to do it twice. Yay! So in thinking about this question, I think some of what I have been doing is kind of waiting a couple of days, right? So obviously once there is a cure, as far as social distancing is concerned, I probably would wait a little bit longer. I think if I had a mask, I might hold that for a little bit longer before I would take it off, just to wait and, kind of let it prove itself, right, to know that the cure really works and that people are able to get it and there's not any issues that way. So my response is, as far as stopping social distancing once there's a cure, I'd probably wait a couple weeks before I would jump back into that situation. So I know now in our state, Colorado, there's people who can go to bars now and things like that. They're still doing masks, and not sure how you do the social distancing and some of the more social things, but they're trying it, so hopefully it will all go very well. What are some new habits are you going to keep from the pandemic? So the pandemic has certainly encouraged me to wash my hands more thoroughly. I've been a good hand washer, but I think that that's one thing I'll definitely keep is the more thoroughness that I'm doing now, and because we've had it for so long, my hands now go to that routine. So that is one habit I definitely want to keep. And the other one is just, cleaning habits, paying closer attention to doorknobs and things like that. I certainly didn't wipe those off as frequently as I do now. Obviously, I do it after every client. So that is something that I want to be more mindful of and things like that in the future. I think that that's a great thing to do, and we'll probably keep that routine in place. The other thing that we're going to keep doing is our Mindful Mondays. So Brooke has brought some great things to our Mindful Mondays at 9 o'clock on Monday on our Facebook Live, and just all the variety of different ways that you can kind of quiet your mind, and it's been really exciting to see so many different options. She's in the process of creating a course, so that way you can learn the foundations of meditation, so that you can kind of find your style, right? So it doesn't have to be just one certain way, and that's been the great thing about our Mindful Mondays. So some great things to be looking forward to. So those are things that I definitely want to keep, because those are things that got created because of the pandemic, and I want to make sure that we continue to do that. The next part is, what does your new normal look like? So that's kind of a hard question to answer, because I'm not really sure how to know what that new normal will be, right? So there's a lot of things that are changing on a social standpoint that have come up. There's going to be, businesses that are still kind of figuring out what that's all going to be, and kind of who is able to get through all of the pandemic stuff until we get to a place that people feel safe and there's a cure. So I don't really know what that new normal will look like. I'm just hoping it will be a more peaceful time, and that we'll all just kind of breathe that big sigh of relief. I'm sure we're going to have even a great party, right? So I think we're all going to have the COVID-19 celebration, that it's, got the cure, and now people can kind of go back to hugs and connections and things like that. So I hope that so some of our old stuff will come back, because I miss the hugs, and that hopefully as a world that will celebrate when that happens, to say that we've survived, and now we can start getting ahead and getting back to something that is more peaceful. But I really hope that that's kind of what we all get to enjoy in the future, is a little bit more peace. So, excited. Next week is our last journaling question. It looks like we're getting a lot of views in our questions, so not sure if we should create a new topic for another 12 weeks. So between now and next week, I'll start thinking about that. There's so many world events that are going on about wanting to make sure everybody has equality, and that's really important. Obviously, some concerns that there's talk about defunding our police force, and some concerns that that certainly could bring up. So need to think about that a little bit. So if you have any suggestions or recommendations on a topic that you would like us to do a journaling series on, would love to get your feedback on that so that we can create some of that stuff. So next week is about celebrating. So yay! So I look forward to hearing your comments on how you're going to handle life once we have a cure, and how you would, are you someone who jumps right in, or are you someone that's going to take a little bit of time to figure it out? So the insights that I got from doing this exercise is that I like to give things time to kind of assimilate, like the new change, and then the power of the pause, right? So rather than jumping back into things, I'm going to just kind of pause a little bit to make sure everything flows a little bit, and how important that pause is. Like I said, I'm hoping we'll have a softer, kinder, show a little more grace to each other. I think we've kind of been harsh on each other. So I'm looking forward to hoping that we can have some grace show back up in our world. And then, as we all know, each experience makes us stronger. So I'm hoping that the communities that people have been able to create lately will be able to be strong. I know a little bit more about my neighbors than I knew before, and that's created a great sense of community, a lot more Zoom calls, that kind of stuff. So I'm really hoping that those bonds will stay strong, and that we'll continue to grow those. So this is Suzette Skidmore with Healing Solutions, Inc. We invite you to join us on Monday for our Mindful Monday, and that's at 9 a.m., and learn different ways you can do meditation. And then next week will be our last journaling question in this series of how to handle journaling through the pandemic, and we'll go from there. So you guys have a wonderful, great day, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.